What's up guys, and it's finally here, the top 10 games I played this year. I wanted to emphasize that these are the games I played this year and not necessarily games that got released this year. Most of the games on this list did release this year, but there are a few titles that I did just finally get around to playing this year that I wanted to add to the list. So what's all on the list? Let's find out.
Oh, rusty anchor, going down, down, down. Oh, rusty anchor, guess you gotta hang around.
Let me tell you a story about our number 10 spot, which is Grim Fandango Remastered. Back in the day, there was this little show on G4 called Cinematheque that showed off all kinds of video game trailers. Yes, that was a real thing before most of the country had high-speed internet and smartphones. I watched this trailer for a PC game called Grim Fandango and was so intrigued by the setting of the afterlife, all the characters being skeletons, and this weird love story that was going on. I was super impressed. You guys gotta realize that the original game came out at a time where not many games were doing stories like this. So now flash forward many years later, and this game now has beautiful HD graphics, silly commentaries to listen to, and the option to switch to the game's original graphics. This game was a no-brainer for me to buy. Seriously, if you guys would like to see where video games were 18 years ago, and are fans of great and often silly storytelling, check it out. By the way, during this recording, the game is free on PlayStation Plus, so there's no excuses! "2015 was the year where I finally got around to playing the Mass Effect series. Yes, I know, it took me long enough. And for the number 9 spot, it came down to Mass Effect 3. I know people don't like the ending because it's not what they expected, and I agree that the ending isn't incredible, but I also take the whole journey of the game as its ending. The world as we know it is in threat of ending, and the responsibility of saving it comes to you. The overwhelming feeling of dread from fighting this enemy that is nearly impossible to beat is captured perfectly in this game. The shooting mechanics are the best in the series, and the game finally gets loadouts right. There's just so much to love about the improvements they made in this game. The series as a whole has made the characters within the game lovable and worth caring about it, so when any of them get killed off in this game, it's pretty sad. Okay, technically this game isn't out yet, but I did say that this was the top 10 games I played this year, and I had to include Drawn to Death on the list. I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not a fan of arena shooters. I think it's because most of them exist in a world I'm never really interested in. Drawn to Death changes that by having an awesome art design made to look like the crude drawings of a teenager, and actually having a pretty awesome, so far, story going on that if you don't pay attention, you'll miss completely. Seriously, the names for the trophies in this game are genius. It's fun trying out the different characters and weapons, and the fast-paced matches are a blast to play. It's one of the most unique shooters I've ever played, and I can't wait for it to come out this year so everyone else can play it.
I hate when things get out of control. One fucking shot, but you couldn't fucking do that! And I got blood on my fucking shells.
Far Cry 3 was probably one of my favorite FPSs of the last generation. The gameplay loop of taking out all the outposts, hunting the different animals so you can craft better gear, and just the sense of progression within the game was so addicting to me. Far Cry 4 is very much even more Far Cry 3. And even though the story isn't as interesting, the gameplay is still all there, and funner than ever. Couple that with giving you the wingsuit from pretty much the very beginning, and it's a game well worth playing. Rainbow Six Siege is a game that a lot of people are loving to hate, and I will admit the beta was terrible, and there still is some work to be done within the final game, but I really love this game because it feels very different from a lot of first-person shooters out there. At its core, it feels a lot like a Counter-Strike game to me, but the destructible environments and ability to choose between a varying category of operators, all with their own unique skills, makes the game much more special. I know people are annoyed by it being multiplayer only, and I'm sure Ubisoft knows that too, and will bring you a proper sequel to Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Just ignore that the game even has the Rainbow Six name in it, and enjoy the chaos. World War I is a setting we don't see in video games a bunch, so when you hear that there is a puzzle platformer set in World War I, it does sound a bit weird, but Valiant Hearts does an awesome job of doing just that. I love picking up the collectibles and reading about the war. It's the funnest history lesson you'll play. I also like how the game goes from these fun platforming moments that make you feel joy and happiness to changing the pace to these sad, gruesome moments. Valiant Hearts broke my heart with its ending, and it's a game I'll be thinking about for a very long time. I really hope this game gets a sequel sometime soon. Bloodborne is beautiful in the grossest way possible. Obviously, if you're a Souls fan, you're going to love Bloodborne, but I think Bloodborne really accomplishes bringing in new fans by being a bit more fast-paced. The monster designs are terrifyingly gorgeous, and overcoming these giants may be the most satisfying thing in gaming, period. The world you explore is vast, and you never quite know what to expect. This game very much does not hold your hand like many open world games do. There's no recommended level for the next quest, or even really anything telling you where to go. You're just a man and his weapon. Go explore, die, learn from it, and die some more. I think most people will agree that gameplay is the most important aspect of a video game. Is the act of playing the game fun? There's plenty of games that come out that have pretty graphics, interesting story, but the game just doesn't feel fun to play. So when I say Rocket League is one of the funnest games I played this year, that's because the game is just a blast to play. Matches are short but challenging, the graphics are beautiful, but most importantly, the car controls are great. Rocket League is a game that I consistently have gone back to just because of how fun the game is to play.
You've been in a coma for quite some time. Yes, I know. You would like to know how long. I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
No joke. The Metal Gear Solid series is by far my favorite game series of all time. I love the crazy story, wacky characters, and incredible boss fights. I think that's why a lot of people play Metal Gear. And sure, there are some crazy story elements to Metal Gear Solid 5, and there are some very interesting characters. The boss fights, they're kind of tame in the game and don't really make the cut if I were talking about the top 10 Metal Gear bosses. Metal Gear Solid 5's real hook this time around is the gameplay. Gone are the 4-hour-long cutscenes, epic character intros, but in its place is a game that is just so fun to play. I love building up Mother Base so I can unlock new weapons, cooler gear, and have a stronger military overall. I know people are a little disappointed in the story, but I actually enjoyed the more grounded approach to the game. As grounded as a story where there's giant mechs used to take over the world can be, of course. And I love the voice acting. It was great, and yes, Kiefer Sutherland deserves more credit than he's getting for his realistic take on Snake's voice. If you haven't played a Metal Gear game but want to, this is the perfect place to start.
Once we were many. Now we are few. Hunters, killers of the world's filth. Witchers, the ultimate killing machines. Among us, a legend. The one they call Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf.
So what's the one game this year that beats out a game in my favorite game series of all time? That honor goes to The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. I bought this game on Christmas and was taken completely by surprise by this one. This is how you make an open world game right. The world is beautiful and bursting with life. The characters are interesting and have their own struggles and motivations. The quests are fun and take interesting twists and turns. You may think you're just doing another monster-killing Witcher contract, and then it goes in a completely different direction. The swordplay is challenging at first but awesome to master. The magic in this game, called signs, is very important for mastering the combat. The story is compelling in this game, and when you boil it all down, it's a story focused on family. I have yet to beat this game, but I've played 50 plus hours on the game and have had fun the entire time and expect to have a blast for well into 2016. Wow, The Witcher 3. I truly believe this game is a step above anything that came out this year. And I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the list as well. If you did, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the show, and leave your list in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.